What is up, guys? In today's video, I'm going to be going over the new shotgun meta in Fortnite because of the changes that occurred yesterday. If you guys were unaware, there was a huge update yesterday that completely changed the way a lot of the shotguns function in Fortnite. I have a previous video discussing it, but I'll also put the changes they made on screen now. But essentially, all they did was they made the shotguns much more consistent and much more reliable, which is really nice because that's been one of the biggest problems in Fortnite throughout like its entire history. But especially in Chapter 3, the shotguns were incredibly inconsistent and really not reliable. And when you combine that with how overpowered the SMGs were, it just made the game really not that fun, or not as fun as like it could be. So this update really was a positive for the game, and shotguns are much better overall. But that also kind of changes how you want to play the game potentially, and which shotguns are viable for you. If you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you would like to see more, and comment down below which shotgun has been your favorite since the update and which game mode you play, because it is quite different between the two game modes, normal Fortnite and zero builds. So this video will be split into two different sections: normal Fortnite and zero builds, or Fortnite with building versus zero builds. There will be timestamps in the description below where you can just click to skip to whatever type of the part of the video you want if you don't play one mode or the other. But we're going to start off with Fortnite with builds, and this is actually changed quite a bit because last week we got the Ranger shotgun added to the game, and that kind of became the new shotgun I was using. I was just running it all the time for Fortnite with builds because of how consistent it was. You knew you were going to hit for triple digits whenever you hit somebody. And sure, build fights were a little awkward with only having one bullet in the mag. There was definitely some times where that was pretty limiting. But overall, just the consistency of the damage made it to where I was using the Ranger shotgun over the striker pump pretty much all of the time. But with the new changes, I'm back to using the striker pump, and it's pretty reliable. I've been able to use all the shotguns in every mode. The striker pump, auto shotgun, Ranger, drum. I've tried all of them out a decent amount, and the Ranger shotgun is still the most consistent and the most reliable, but it doesn't have as much of an advantage over the striker pump as it did before, because the striker pump is also much more reliable now than it was in the past. Like, you're probably going to hit over 100 or close to 100 pretty consistently with the striker pump in most build fights from my experience, and most of the time when you make edit plays on somebody. So I'm kind of going more towards the striker pump at this point than the Ranger shotgun for builds. The Ranger is still good, like I said, but before it was like a guaranteed 100 plus damage, and the striker pump was like 20 damage maybe, or 80 damage, or maybe even over 100. It was really inconsistent. But now the Ranger is still like 100 plus pretty much guaranteed, but the striker pump is also like 80 or more pretty much guaranteed. They're incredibly reliable now and very, very consistent. So I'm back to using the striker pump in Fortnite modes with building. You can do a lot more in build fights when you don't have to worry about reloading your shotgun every single time. And it's also really nice for making edit plays, just knowing that your gun is going to be reloaded every single time. The Ranger shotgun does still have the advantage on range, and if you like the Ranger shotgun, there's no problem with it. It's not bad. They're both incredibly good, but I just like the striker pump more now. The auto shotgun is also much more reliable in build modes than it was in the past. It just doesn't really have the range to really compete with the striker pump or the Ranger shotgun. And the SMGs are so overpowered that I kind of feel like the main advantage of the auto shotgun doesn't really matter, because like the auto shotty, what it would do better than those other shotguns is it would be really good in like close, chaotic, like I don't want to say like messy fights, you know, like really awkward fights is where the auto shotgun would shine through. And I've had some good games playing with it. It's not bad by any means now, but I just don't really feel motivated to use it in the same way because the SMGs are so overpowered and so good. Like, you could pump somebody and then just switch your SMG and fry them. Whereas like using the auto shotgun and just using only that, you kind of miss out on like switching to your SMG, and it gets awkward knowing like, do I just keep shooting them with the auto or do I switch to the SMG? Like, the auto shotgun could maybe have a place in the game if the SMGs weren't as good, is what I'm trying to say. But if you're someone who liked the auto shotgun in the past, you'll probably really like it now because it is much more consistent and much more reliable than it was in the past. So overall, I think you can use pretty much any shotgun in the build modes. I don't really like using the drum shotgun because I feel like you're like really limiting yourself in terms of like the play style that you can have. It's really only good at one thing, and that is getting in. And the SMGs are so overpowered that I don't want to like have a shotgun that's designed just for getting in. It kind of made sense in the past, or it was like, it made a little more sense in the past in the build mode because of how unreliable the other shotguns were. But with the addition of the Ranger shotgun and this update, I really don't see myself using the drum shotty in the build modes. If you're someone who likes to do that, that's fine. It's not terrible, but I don't really like it in the builds modes. But it is very good in zero builds, which is what we're going to get into now. So that's my thoughts on the build mode. Striker Pump is my favorite now, followed by the Ranger, then the Auto, and then the Drum. I've been having a lot of fun with the Striker Pump recently. It definitely feels like really satisfying to use. But for the no build modes, I feel like you have less options, I would say. I don't really like using the auto shotgun at all in no builds. I've tried it a decent amount, and like I was saying before about the auto shotty in the build mode, it just doesn't have the range. And when you compare it to the drum shotty, which is a weapon that a lot of people are using, they kind of have similar range, but the drum shotty has a much higher fire rate, and it's like just much easier to use in general. So I feel like the auto shotgun is kind of in a weird middle ground where it doesn't do anything best. And so you just end up losing fights to both shotguns. If you use the auto shotty versus a drum shotgun, and the drum shotgun, like in a fight that's really close range and chaotic, the drum shotgun is just going to win, I think. And then if you have like a little bit more of a mid-range fight for shotguns, like obviously not like actual mid-range, but decent range for shotguns, you know? The auto shotty probably loses out to both the Ranger shotgun and the Striker Pump, and even the drum shotty sometimes. Even with the range nerf that occurred in the update, it's still like decent, like at those like mid-range-ish shotgun fights, just because of the fire rate and just how consistently it's throwing out damage. So I really don't see a point in using the auto shotgun in the zero build mode. That's my experience. Every time I use it, it doesn't go well. It's okay in the build mode, but in zero build, I don't like the auto shotgun very much. So that leaves us with the Ranger, the Striker Pump, and the drum shotgun. And the drum shotgun was pretty much undoubtedly, like no one would really argue this, that the drum shotgun was the best in zero builds before, and it's still very good. The nerf they gave it is pretty much not noticeable, I feel like, because a majority of time people are using the drum shotgun. They were really close to the opponent, and they were jumping around and crouch spamming and like just making the fight really chaotic and really messy, and it's still really good for that, and it's still probably the best shotgun in the zero build mode, I think. So it's still the best, I think. But the Striker Pump is a lot more viable than it was before. I don't really think anything changed with the Ranger because of this update. You can use it in basically the same way. But where I think the Striker Pump is better than the Ranger in zero build mode is that you can pump somebody. You're probably going to get close to 100 damage, if not over 100 damage. Switch to your SMG and shoot a few shots while, like, to cancel the pump animation, and then switch back to the Striker Pump and pump them again for hopefully 100 plus damage. And that's something you can't do with the Ranger shotgun. The Ranger shotgun has a little bit more range, and it's going to be more reliable on that opening shot and probably do more damage in that one opening shot. But you can't switch back to it after shooting your SMG for a little bit because it only has one bullet in the mag. Whereas the Striker Pump, you can like throw out 100 damage, SMG, maybe hit them for like 90-ish, and then pump them again, and then they're dead. And I've been able to do that like really reliably in the zero build mode now. And if you pull that off perfectly, I feel like you can beat drum shotgun users. The only thing is that the drum shotgun is going to be almost just as good. Like, you have to play really well with the Striker Pump and execute what I just described like perfectly to beat the drum shotgun user. Whereas the drum shotgun user can still kill you. Like, it's not like you're guaranteed to kill them by doing that. The drum shotgun can still win that fight. And it's much easier for the drum shotgun player, which is the problem with the drum shotgun, in my opinion, is that it's way too effective for how easy it is to use. But yeah, I think in zero builds, you want to either use the drum shotty or you want to use the Striker SMG combo, like I said. I see a lot of people pumping once and then switching to their SMG, and then they just do that until the opponent's dead. And that typically works in build modes, but with the overshield, players have a little bit more HP, and I feel like you're usually going to be able to switch back to your pump and get like one more high damage shot to kill them a little bit faster. It'll take some time to get this down, but like basically once you crack their shield, you switch back to the pump, and then you finish them off that way. If you do it well and your aim is good, you can kill people incredibly fast doing that, and you will beat drum shotgun players if they aren't perfect, essentially. And you can kind of play outside the drum shotgun's range with this combo as well, and that'll also give you like an advantage in your camp. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Like I said before, in builds, I like the Striker Pump and the Ranger shotgun the most. In zero builds, I think either Striker Pump SMG combo or drum shotgun. It just kind of depends on you and your skill set, but I personally think the Striker Pump SMG combo is better. It just takes a little more skill to execute, and to be honest, I think it's a lot more fun as well. The drum shotgun is like really boring to use because of how skillless it is, in my opinion, and I've been having a lot more fun playing with the Striker Pump SMG combo. Let me know down in the comments below which shotgun you favor and which mode you're playing in Fortnite right now. If you guys did enjoy the video, give it a like, subscribe, and if you want to watch me live stream on Twitch, it'll be linked down in the description below. Thanks for watching.